Something unusual is happening with Apple's biggest iPhone, and it's not loud, it's not flashy, but might be the most important shift in years. The kind of upgrade that doesn't look exciting on paper, yet quietly changes how the phone feels every single day. And once you notice it, you won't be able to unsee it. All right, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. So let's lock in on the real star here, the iPhone 18 Pro Max. Not the regular Pro, not the foldable, just this one device. Because this is where Apple is making its smartest, most calculated moves. At first glance, it looks familiar. Same flat edges, same triple camera setup, same overall identity we've seen for years. And honestly, that's intentional. Apple isn't trying to shock you this time. It's trying to perfect something you already trust. But then you start noticing the small changes, they start adding up fast. The first one is right at the top of the display. The dynamic island is finally shrinking. After staying almost identical for 4 generations, it's now expected to be noticeably narrower. Not a redesign, not a punch hole, just a slimmer, more refined version. And here's why that matters. Apple is slowly moving toward a fully uninterrupted display. This is step one. It's subtle now, but it's setting up something much bigger. Then there's the part most people are completely underestimating, the battery. This might actually be the biggest real-world upgrade in the entire phone. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is rumored to push past the 5,100 milliamp hours mark, possibly even closer to 5,200 milliamp hours. That would make it the largest battery ever in an iPhone. And yes, technically the phone might get slightly thicker, but we're talking about a difference so small you won't feel it. What you will feel is this, your phone lasting longer, staying consistent, and not dropping performance under pressure. That's the kind of upgrade that changes your daily experience without you even thinking about it. Now pair that with the new A20 Pro chip built on a 2nm process. Everyone hears faster and moves on. But the real story is efficiency. Around 30% better power efficiency means your battery and performance are working together instead of fighting each other. So when you're gaming, recording, or using AI features, the phone stays cooler, smoother, and more stable. And speaking of stability, the connectivity story is quietly evolving too. Apple's next-gen C2 modem could be one of the most underrated upgrades here. Faster speeds, better efficiency, but more importantly, potential satellite-based internet support. Not just emergency features, actually usable connectivity in places where you normally have nothing. Think about that for a second. Your phone connecting beyond towers. That's not just an upgrade, that's a shift in how smartphones work. Now let's talk about the camera, because this is where expectations get interesting. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is expected to introduce a variable aperture system on its main sensor. That's a feature pulled straight from professional cameras. It lets you control how much light enters the lens, which affects things like background blur and sharpness. Sounds huge, and it is, but here's the honest part. On a smartphone sensor, the difference won't feel as dramatic as on a dedicated camera. You'll get more flexibility, better control in tricky lighting, and improved depth effects. But it's not going to suddenly replace a DSLR. What will matter is how Apple uses it. Their image processing, their consistency, their video performance. That's where this feature becomes powerful. Not alone, but as part of the system. Now here's where things take a slightly unexpected turn. Because while Apple is refining everything, the timing of this phone puts it in a very interesting position. The iPhone 18 Pro Max might actually be the last version of this design language. The last classic iPhone before a major redesign expected the following year. And that changes how you look at it completely. This isn't just another upgrade cycle. This is the final, most polished version of a design Apple has been perfecting since the iPhone X. Every small improvement, battery, display, cutout, chip efficiency, camera control, it's all building toward one thing, refinement at its peak. So now the decision becomes way more interesting. If you upgrade to the iPhone 18 Pro Max, you're getting the most complete version of a proven formula. No risks, no experiments, just everything working exactly the way it should. But if you wait, you might get something completely new, something redesigned, possibly revolutionary, but also unpredictable. And that's the real tension here. Safe perfection versus risky innovation. Personally, I think this is one of those rare moments where the boring upgrade might actually be the smartest one. Because once Apple changes the design, there's always a transition period. And this right here feels like the final version before that reset. But I want to know what you think. Would you go for the most refined iPhone ever made, or skip it and wait for the next big leap? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious how people are thinking about this one. And trust me, once we start talking about how this phone compares to what's coming right after it, that's where things get even more interesting.